this feels like more than a game today. I did Easter Monday just a week ago, and that was great. And this is sort of much different in terms of just the build-up of it all. So I would say, it's certainly the biggest home and away game I've ever done. First Anzac game today. It's an amazing opportunity, and I feel very privileged to be chosen and represent the group with two great mates, Rosebury and Hayden Gavine. So we're pumped. In fact, to help me sort of get as much out of the day as possible, I rang a couple of ex-umpires. I talked to Sean Ryan, he's umpired 6 Anzac Day games. He said the first 5 minutes, they're not going to hear your whistle. So don't panic, it's loud. I've been to quite a few Anzac Days the last few years as well, and it's just unbelievable before the match. The oath and the last post and everything's just extraordinary. So I'm so pumped to be a part of that. Brett, Rosebury and Hayden Gavine and I have umpired. This will be our 5th out of 6 weeks together. They are two of the greatest blokes. Brett is such a selfless man, so genuine and generous, and Gav, we got on the list together and just got on like 2 peas in a pod. When you're out there, you have so much confidence in your umpiring ability, because if you're unsure of something, your teammate, Brett or Gav, whoever's there, are going to pick it up for you. Couldn't have think of 2 other guys I'd like to go out there with today.
There's a lot of things I love about umpiring. Probably the 2 main reasons are that I get to be a part of AFL football in some capacity, and also the friendships and the mateships that I've developed and I have because of umpiring. What got me into umpiring was to earn money initially. So I'd just been selected to go to England to play cricket and needed money to fund that trip. So the only way to get money at that young age was to mow lawns, wash cars or umpire football.
In 23 years umpiring at the AFL, seen lots of things change, game styles, the way we've umpired and set up our structures, and probably the biggest change has been the scrutiny, the attention from the media. There was lots of learning in those early stages. I got dropped for 6 weeks. I think it was like game 11 into my career. Matty Knight's and Liberatore incident at the G.
Oh, there is a time.
And Matty's going in now. Look at this.
Oh, it is
right in there.
Just, got really overawed with the whole management that happened after that incident.
He has been whacked.
Moments like that were great learning opportunities and really set me up for the next time that things happened out on the field, that I made sure I knew how to manage it differently. I always laughed that Libber only got 5 weeks at the tribunal. I got 6 from the AFL and I didn't hit anyone.
I've been told by mum and dad, I've always wanted to, ever since I was little, I've always wanted to umpire. They tell stories of when I used to walk the ball out for my dad because he was an umpire. I just grew up with this sort of fascination of umpiring. I was, blowing the whistle in the backyard, practicing bouncing the ball. And this is when I'm, 6. When people say, why umpire? Why do you choose umpiring? I just love it. I love the challenge of it. I love the feeling when you're out there. It's just amazing.
Just keep giving yourself time in the contest. Slow the tackle down.
Yeah.
Time. No rushing your decision making.
Yeah.
And first 5-10 minutes, don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
All right, don't try any harder.
Yeah.
Have fun, fellas. Enjoy it, yeah.
About to get underway in this Anzac Day clash, the 27th time that has happened between these 2 sides on this day. About to get underway in this Anzac Day clash. Huge crowd in.
There's 84,000 people here, and us 3 are in control of the game. We're managing this game. How cool is that?
Nathan Williamson holds the ball alive. We're ready to go. 80,000 plus, and Nathan Williamson to get us underway with Grundy and Draper. Grundy wins the knock.
I remember thinking, oh my God, I feel so good at the moment. I didn't feel any angst with the noise. I felt really calm and composed. So I actually banked the moment and thought, next time you're in this situation where everything's going berserk, just remember you were calm.
You try and embrace it as much as possible. Like, I know that the nerves are going to be there and I'm going to feel anxious, but not to try and fight it, just to try and embrace the occasion. But once the first bounce happens, it's sort of, you settle into the game pretty good.
I think it's good to have some nerves, and I've done an Anzac Day for probably 10 years, so it was a little bit nervous.
Down to Dacos. Josh with a long look into the pockets. Now then, is that going to be paid a mark?
Mark's here! Clear out, Jack.
We love umpiring AFL footy, and to be out there with some of the most amazing moments in the history, like I was fortunate to be in Launceston the day Buddy kicked 13. Don't remember lots of games, but you do remember real special moments.
There's a lot of things I love about umpiring, just the experiences that you get with umpiring. My first year got to go to Shanghai to do the match over there. My second and third year on the list went to America to be part of the AFL USA trip, and then my fourth year, due to COVID, got to spend 4 months up in the Gold Coast, which was great because I got to share that with 33 other umpires on the list and really got to live with them and know them a little bit more.
The opportunity that we have as individuals and for our family and our friends to experience with us as well is incredible.
Gavine coming hard at him. Myercheck's there as well, hovering over the footy. Umpire's going to ping this, I reckon.
Drag it back in.
Dived on the ball. I would say that I've structured my whole week around umpiring AFL footy, even though I still hold down a full-time job. Whether it's doing rehab during your lunch break or training in the morning or flexing your day with your employer to get in your training requirements or jumping online for coaching sessions. It really is a lifestyle commitment that you and your family set up.
Still, it's in a dangerous spot, Gavine. Will he drag it high free? He has.
Behind. Mark's here. That's your angle. Play on.
Now he's got two.
Physicality with umpiring is challenging. So most umpires would run probably 3 to 5 times a week, and then you've got your gym, and a lot of umpires do bike riding or swimming as well. In my first 2 years on the list, I was not getting through matches at all. My second year on the list, Melbourne versus Geelong, it was a kick after the siren. Max Gorn hits the post. I cramped 5 minutes into the third quarter and I had to be chopped out by my other two teammates. Felt so disappointed in myself because I let the team down because I couldn't really help them out. And that's really when it clicked, like, I need to get fitter and I need to do something about this.
Pushing it back. No, you're free. You're free kick. It's a pushing it back down there. No. Oh. When he kicked it. After he kicked it.
Umpiring teaches you things you cannot buy or experience in any other industry. There's just no other industry like it. For me, being able to manage situations, so we call it manage the game, being able to do that is the number one key thing.
Essendon, throw. Actually, handball it. Okay. Time back on.
Don't get me wrong, like, your confidence gets knocked a heap when you're umpiring, but it helps build it because it helps you become resilient. You're going to cop things left, right and centre throughout your whole career. How you deal with that, how you bounce back, how you manage that, that's what umpiring teaches you.
Still. That's enough.
It teaches you how to communicate. We're mic'd up. We need to be aware of what we're saying, and you need to be able to do it in a way that's calm and gets your message across.
Play on. No score.
Siren sounds. Tight, tactical first half of football. Slow and methodical sometimes, fast, quick at others.
Well done.
No problems. Collingwood with the first.
The noise will tell you the story. Boom. Flicks it over the top to Stringer. Should be a goal. And it is.
They need a goal and they've got it.
Heavy bomber representation at the punt road end, and Jack's just mentioned to a few of them that they can keep it down to a double raw. He can go all the way. Loads it up. There it is.
Right up with the punt road end. Launches a missile.
That's on 5.
He's got Dacos if he wants to go there. He does by hand. Josh, nothing ahead of him.
The most challenging aspect with umpiring is probably the grey. And even though there's so much, just trying to make it as black and white as possible, and in your head knowing exactly what a free kick looks like.
Sometimes it really comes down to back yourself. You know, what you think you see is more than likely it has happened. Don't second guess your judgment, you know, because it is, as I said, it's so instinctive, and quite often your first thought is right. We don't want umpires guessing. You want to be able to back your system, your 3-umpire team position, where you can trust your teammate. If you don't see it, they will pay it, and that if they can give you the help via verbal comms, that you get that opportunity to take in those comms to help your decision-making process.
No. Still error.
It's not until you sort of sit back, I guess, and go, geez, we do a pretty good job. We've got a lot going on. You know, holding the ball, for example, it's all well and good to scream out ball, but for us, we've got to go through quite a bit of a process, but make the decision like that.
Cameron, Gavine ran out of trouble and into trouble.
On the ball.
Is the tackle legal? Like pushing the back, high tackle, and then a bit of a flow chart from there, right? Yeah, it's legal, okay. They've had prior, or have they not had prior? Jake Stringer's case, he hadn't had prior. Does he make an attempt? No. Does he drop the ball on the ground? Yes.
On the ball. Stand. Incorrect disposal. Dropped it.
As a kid that took up umpiring, because I used to get frustrated with the local umpire, you know, like I wish more people would do that. More people get involved and have a go at umpiring. You know, give it a go. It's much harder than watching it from the couch. I love umpiring with the young guys. They keep you motivated and energised, and I guess they keep pushing you to make sure that you're setting the high standards that they want to achieve. We're all even, and I always tell whoever I umpire with, whether it's a 300 game plus umpire or a first season umpire, I'll tell them I will make a mistake today. So make sure you're in a position to pay it. Give them that confidence and that support, knowing that, hey, I will make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, I'll have your back.
That time that we take, for us, feels like quite a while. But in actual fact, it's probably only an extra second. But that's sometimes all we need to be able to let things unfold and go, okay.
Grundy, outsized.
Hind was on the mark, told him to stand. Grundy hasn't gone off his line. He moves. I'll go, he's moved. And I haven't called play on. 50.
50.
Moments throughout the game. 84,204 people there or whatever it was loud and awesome.
Big noise, players can't hear the umpire.
Like we just look at each other when the crowd's going berserk and just smile and go, this is awesome.
And Collingwood have got home.
Pulsating footy at the MCG. In the end, it was the Magpies good enough by 11 points.
Main thing at the end of the day, we did a good job, and we walked off, very pleased with how we went and really soaked it up.
We stayed calm, we stayed composed. We finished off really strongly. Everything that this team has prided itself on over the last 6 weeks, executed again today.
I said handball when you were in the middle.
Yeah, I remember the one now. Yeah, I was about to say it. Yeah.
We posted it.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was going to pay all the balls. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Man, he was squatting down, ready to go.
That's team. From a team perspective, our performance was solid. We sort of didn't intervene unless we sort of had to. It was a pretty free-flowing game. And yeah, we sort of just sat back, enjoyed the occasion, and then paid the free kicks that we sort of had to pay.
So I immersed myself in the week, and you know what? I'm still coming down from it because it was so awesome. It was a great build-up. The game was fantastic. The guys I was with were awesome. We did a good job.
We're super accountable in our assessments. We have umpires get rotated out for form most weeks, decisions here or there. So we're super accountable. We're the harshest critics on ourselves. You still look and challenge yourself individually and as the team you're umpiring with. How can we get better? How can we get that right? Because we hate watching the game back and going, oh, that's wrong, or that's an error. Like we hate that. But you blow your whistle and you live and die by it, whether it's right or wrong, you know. Unfortunately, you don't get that second or third super slow replay that's on Channel 7 or Fox Footy. You don't get that. First big Anzac Day, pretty much they can tick that box. They can tick any game, you know, so take all the confidence from the way you handled, you know, one, the appointment, but then two, to perform on the day.
Probably before my time, umpiring was very individually focused. Now it's very team focused and about getting the right result as a team. We don't want someone else in our team to stuff up or have an error. Like, we want to try and avoid that as much as possible because we care about each other so much.
I've loved the people along the way. Doesn't matter whether it's here at the AFL or, you know, junior football. You know, obviously my parents and grandparents have had a significant influence, but the people you meet come from a diverse range of backgrounds. They've got diverse experiences. You get to spend quality time with these people. I love that aspect.
Both of you, the support comms that you gave me in the last quarter, where I think I might have even blown the whistle almost. It was that close, I don't know, but it was that close. And just, that's what team is, yeah. In those moments where I can't see if there's a handball or not, and you just come over the comms with handball. I think the most fulfilling part of being an AFL field umpire for me is that I have a role to play in one of the greatest sports in the world as an umpire. Without umpires, there's no game.
I know that community umpiring groups are just like this group, the camaraderie. They have a bit of a laugh when they train together. A fantastic thing to be a part of. And I wish more people just give it a go, because once they give it a go, I think they get pretty hooked on it pretty quick.